Hey guys, in today's video, I'd like to talk a little bit about encapsulation. It's a big word and it's used a lot in programming. So I'd like to just show you, kind of like illustrate a little bit of exactly how it's done and give you a better understanding in case you don't really fully grasp exactly what it is. And that's what this video is mainly about. It's going to be really quick, really short. I'm going to get straight to the point. So stick around. All right, so let's look at what Google says about encapsulation. Well, it's not really Google, but after Googling it, it brings you to a stickify.com where it talks about object-oriented concept for beginners. What is encapsulation? So it says this concept is often used to hide the internal representation or state of an object from the outside. So basically hiding certain data. This is called information hiding, aka encapsulation. I just use paint here to kind of demonstrate. So it's like you have a script with some data here. I'll call it red, right? And then you have another script. Without encapsulating this data, this script here can easily read those data and modify those data anytime you want, right? Sometimes that's not a good idea. So what you would do is create, it might have been a fast way to do this. What you would do is then create some sort of methods right here that accesses these data. And make sure that these data are hidden and these are the only way to get to those data. Then the script here would have to then just access these data to get to that data, if it makes sense. So these are hidden and these are the only way in and out. So these are considered encapsulated, if that makes sense. Now I'll show you how to do that. So what I'm using here is just Unity, and I'm gonna go ahead and create a new scene. So I don't have anything on there. It really doesn't matter anyway. So I'm just gonna put an empty game object that we're gonna use to show encapsulation. So let me just go ahead and name it. I'll name it example. And I'm actually just going to add a script to it. So add component. At the bottom here, there's new script. And I'll just call this as well example. So just as an example, I can have some sort of integer right here, int x, and just set it to 0, and perhaps a string. Let's call it words. We can set that to hello. Oops. We can set that to hello. Now, because I didn't put public in front of it, by default it's private. And we want it to be private, but let's assume that it was a public. So let's make one of them public at least. So I'll make this one public. And this one is private by default, but I'll put the word private there. Anyways, this is not encapsulated, but this is about to be. It's not yet, because being private, we don't have access to it. And what that means is if I created another script, let me go ahead and do that right now. So example B, and I'll double click to open this script. So see, here is this, and this is the new script. Notice that I can make a reference to my example script. So let's say private, can't spell, private example. There it is. That's the example script. Now just call it X script. Create my, I can actually, let's go back into my start function. And I can actually use this now. So I could say X script dot, and I should have access to that X integer that I made. So I can like say X script dot X equals, 5, something like that. And that's completely fair. There's no error here. It's completely right. I cannot do anything with this. So I cannot access the words. So xscript.words equal, right now it says hello on the other end, but I can't, say, anything. I can't write anything. Boo. It's completely, it's protected. You can't see it. It's not there. So it's private, obviously. So in order to access this, we use functions. So we can make, and I think if I right click it here, I'm able to use some quick actions and then do it from here. See, encapsulate, fill. So Visual Studio really gives you a good hand on just doing this for you really quickly. So I can use this, and boom. Now it's set. What this means is almost the same as a getter and a setter, and I think I can also generate those. Let me see. Usually you can. It should be in here. Snippet, breakpoint. Well, anyways, this is just this is basically another way of writing the getters and setters. So you see here, it's doing the same thing. When you're what are you getting? This information, words with a lowercase, which is this is uppercase, so it's different. And I can even put like an underscore just to show you it's completely different. So it will get that, and then when you try to set, it will also be setting the word's value to whatever you send. So now that this is completely encapsulated, I'm going to show you another way of doing it. That is basically the same thing. It's just written a little differently, and you might see it differently in like whatever language that you're using. Right now, I should be able to write this dot underscore words. You see, and now that value, if I can print, right? I can say string b equals boom, right? Because this would represent a text. So now b would be hello. Or instead of having it represent in the text, because it's also a setter, it's not only a getter. Getting information, you can also set. I can say string words or x script underscore words equal, and I put like a new string in here, and that also works. Boo. And now it's a setter because I just set the new value, and if I wanted to store it into something else, I'll be getting the new value. So this works both ways, a setter or getter. A lot of times, people would write it differently. You would write it as two separate functions. So like, this will usually be like get words, right? Just like that. And then you open and close body. And then all you got to do is return the value you want to be returned. Just like that. And that is your getter. And then, of course, you'd have one for set. So this would just be like a void function. You don't have to do anything special there. So get words. I'm sorry, set words. And then all you got to do is you would pass in like some sort of variable. So W. And then you just say words equal W. And that's done. So because these now are public, the string is able to access those as well. So you can get your words that way, and you can also set your new words, and you just got to pass in your new word there. So that's what it is, a setter and a getter. When you store your information, you make sure it's completely private. So the only way in and out are through these methods. Why would you do this? It keeps your information a little bit more secure. It helps you against hackers as well. And it's just really good practice. You always want one line of information, one flow where it comes in and goes out. There's only one function to get to it and one function to get the information from it. So I like the way that this IDE, that Microsoft Visual Studio, I like the way it did it for us here, which is just using one function name and have it be in a getter and a setter versus really having two of these. And this works, guys, in C#. This also works in, I believe, Java. So you can look up in Java as well. In Java, you'll commonly see it like this, where you actually have two separate functions. And that's okay too, in case you need something special done, because maybe each time you're setting the word, you wanted to add another word to it or something like that. So if you send hello, it'll be hello plus boo. So that's it. Hopefully this tutorial helps somebody out there, because like I said, I'm just trying to help you guys out with whatever you guys request. And I saw a request for just a little bit more of a beginner guides for encapsulation. And yeah, so guys, if it helps you, if you can help me back, just simply hit the like button. That's all I need. And subscribe if you're not. It just helps grow the channel. Anyways, guys.